Kev on Magpie 24/7, and I hope you're all good. So, Arsenal 4, Newcastle United 1 in what was a really disappointing performance. To be honest with you, I was really angry at the end of the first half. I couldn't believe it. Because we made the changes. Tino came in for Burn, which has been blindingly obvious for weeks now. I think, definitely has, and yeah, it was just a frustrating game from minute one. Arsenal just seemed to be about it, and we just stood off them. And first half, it was almost like a training session for Arsenal. It was so easy. We were so passive. Like, obviously, intensity is our identity. Eddie Howe has said in press conferences in the past, we looked anything but, and it's really concerning because some of the things I've seen like online and stuff, like, obviously online isn't the biggest place to take opinions and stuff from without like saying like, because you see mad things like Eddie Howe out and shouldn't be at the club, and that's nonsensical. I'm not saying that, but just some of the comparisons to previous years where we went out, we didn't have an idea, we didn't look like we had an idea, and you've got the likes, you've got within a minute Trippier trying to reassure calmness amongst the lads, and just didn't look like they were on the same wavelength at any point in the game. And it just seemed disjointed, which is not something I kind of align with the way we play, because we're usually on the same page and we'll outwork the opposition, and that's how it usually works, but it just doesn't seem to be. Arsenal, and yes, there will be elements of Arsenal were up for it because of November and stuff like that, fair enough, but we just weren't ready for it. And you'd think a team that's played at played it in the Parc de Paris, that a team that's played in the San Siro, in a derby this season, we've played in some pretty intense atmospheres this season, and we just haven't been about it at all. Last night we're just shite. It's just completely passive. There's no other way to describe it really. We're just shit. Just didn't look like we wanted to compete with Arsenal, and that was really concerning. And we looked like we had no life in the midfield. Thank fuck Joe Willock is back. Next week, hopefully he's back in for the Wolves game, even the Blackburn game on Tuesday. That would be ideal. But no, it was a really concerning performance. Up and down the park, really bad performances. Botman had his worst game in a Newcastle shirt. He was fucking terrible. Where else? Tino didn't have a good game. I know there was calls to bring him in, but like, obviously, like, I think it was just a difficult one. Like, we put on, like, me and Paul put on my socials the day before the game. Should we go five at the back, because it's helped with seal out games away from home in the past couple of weeks, Villa and Forest, and we managed to defend well with them. Was that not worth it? I know it might send a different message, but if you're looking to defend like we tried to, where we're sitting off and trying to invite pressure and hit them on the counter attack, which didn't work, but like, if that's what you're trying to do, then why, like, I don't know. Like, what do I know? I'm just a fan. At the end of the day, I don't really, like, I'm not paid hundreds of thousands a week to try and make these decisions. Obviously, it's Eddie's job to do that, but yeah, it really frustrating 45 minutes. And we came out, we tried to play it a bit more, like, a bit better in the second half. But honestly, I feel like Arsenal turned it up for 5 minutes in the second half, blew away again, just to kind of say, stay in your lane, and then that was the end of it. Obviously, Dan Burn with the overlap, brilliant cross, and a lovely header by Joe Willock, by the way, to give her consolation. But game was already done. But yeah, it was a disappointing performance. I think we'll miss with physicality in midfield. We'll miss with energy. Obviously, Joe Willock's back, but we're missing that physicality of Tonali and Joe Linton in particular. And yeah, like, obviously, I think Willock coming in is a given next weekend. Who comes out? Does Miley come out, or does Longstaff come out? Because for me, I know Eddie will stick with Longstaff because he likes to stick with his favourites, but I'd stick with Miley, because I think Miley's shown more than Longstaff in recent games. I think Longstaff's been, when we've been a team in possession, he's been invisible, and out and off the ball, he's been invisible. So I think there's a couple of players in the team that are just like last season when Eddie was getting the best out of them, and it was they were playing like amazingly well. The limitations are starting to really show. Like Almiron, had a chance just before the break, and it was he just literally just dribbled at the goalkeeper. It's like on FIFA, he's running towards goal and the pad died, so he just kept on running, and the keeper picked the ball up. That's what it was like, and it was just like, what the fuck? It was just like, what can you do? But it was, yeah, frustrating performance, and I think the next week or so is a huge week, because if we lose to Blackburn, all of a sudden we look like we could go as low as 11th and not no cup to play for. So it is a big week. It's a big week for Newcastle. So hopefully we can get back on the horse, and hopefully again this is a reality check, because by fuck after Arsenal they need it. Um and yeah, it's just about the next game now. We can write it off and say Arsenal were a good, like, played really well last night, and we just never got going. But I think Tuesday's a big game, and then Wolves is a huge game as well. So big week ahead for the lads. Hopefully we can get about it. But let us know who your man of the match was, if there was one. Get your comments in. Just let us know how you feel. Because for me, there wasn't a player of the match. Was shade. Everyone was. But yeah, it was a frustrating night, but yeah, on to the next one. Louis and leaves for now. Leave a like if you liked the video. Stay subscribed for more. Obviously, I'll be doing a review of the Blackburn game, so it'll be Wednesday. But yeah, catch you on the next one, everyone. See you later.